Hello, I'm Abrick, a licensing consultant with Felix Happich Consultancy. If you're a healthcare professional planning to practice in the United Arab Emirates, you are likely aware that the regulatory landscape is stringent. It is often described as a complex maze, a series of confusing portals and hidden rules. But at Felix Happich Consultancy, we see it differently. It is not a maze, it's a system. And like any system, it operates on a set of absolute federal rules, the Unified Healthcare Professional Qualifications Requirements, or the PQR. Whether you're applying to the DHA in Dubai, the DOH in Abu Dhabi, or the MOHAP for the Northern Emirates, the foundational standards are shared. They are not suggestions. They are the baseline. Today, we're going to walk through the general requirements for UAE licensure in a comprehensive masterclass. We will break this process down into 4 distinct pillars: education, experience, primary source verification, and examination. If you understand these 4 pillars, you stop guessing. You stop wasting money on rejected applications, and you start engineering your own approval. Let's begin with the very first step: your education. Your licensure begins with your degree. This is the cornerstone of your entire application. The UAE authorities maintain rigorous standards because their primary objective is patient safety, and they verify this through the lens of your academic history. The PQR mandates that your educational program must be nationally accredited in the country where it was issued. This isn't just about having a degree. It's about having a degree from an institution officially recognized by the relevant government authority in your home country. If your university is not recognized by the National Education Authority, your application is structurally incomplete before it even begins. We frequently see candidates who have invested years in programs that are not recognized by the PQR. It is vital to understand what the authorities do not accept. If your qualification was an honorary award, obtained through a remote distance learning program without a verified component of supervised clinical training, or via an equivalency-only route, it is likely not to be accepted. The PQR is clear. They require degrees that involved hands-on, supervised, in-person clinical training. Your education must directly map to the title you are applying for. This is often where clinicians get tripped up. If you are applying for a general practitioner role, you must hold a medical degree with a minimum study duration of 5 years, and this excludes your internship year. Before you spend a single dirham on your application fees, perform a personal audit. Does your specific degree meet the PQR criteria for your target title? We recommend checking the institution's status before global ranking systems, but most importantly, against the specific accreditation bodies listed in the PQR. If the education isn't recognized or mapped correctly, the rest of the application will not succeed. Your degree is the gatekeeper. Now we move to the hurdle that trips up the most experienced clinicians: your professional experience. You might have 10, 15, or 20 years of work, but the UAE authorities are not looking for the quantity of time. They are looking for the quality of clinical practice as defined by the PQR. The PQR is explicit. They require active, hands-on clinical care, obtained during a period of paid, salaried employment. You must be operating under an active, valid healthcare license during those years. We see many applicants who have years of experience but fall into the trap of including teaching, academic research, or unpaid observerships. Unfortunately, if your duties were not patient-facing and performed under a clinical license, they simply do not count toward your requirements. Let's be clear about the start of your career. Generally, physicians and dentists are mandated to complete a 1-year structured clinical internship post-graduation. This is a non-negotiable threshold for entry. If your undergraduate education did not include a formal accredited internship, the PQR requires you to compensate for this by providing an additional 2 years of clinical experience. This isn't a suggestion. It's a regulatory requirement to prove you have achieved the necessary clinical competency before practicing in the UAE. For those in surgical or dental specialties, experience is not just a CV entry. It is a clinical demonstration. You are required to provide a logbook documenting sufficient cases across the core practice areas of your specialty. If you're applying for a specialist or consultant title, you must prove that your surgical or clinical output meets the federal standard for those roles. My advice to every client at Felix Happich Consultancy: treat your work history as a dataset. Every gap must be documented. Every year must be backed by a license, and every clinical hour must be verifiable. You are building a narrative of continuous, licensed, patient-facing work. If you have gaps in practice, look at the PQR section on discontinuity of practice, because if that gap exceeds the allowed limit, you may be required to undergo a re-entry training program. Now we come to the gatekeepers of the process: primary source verification, or PSV, and the examination. If you look at the PQR, these are not just steps. They are the final validation of your entire professional life. This is the foundation of your building. Many applicants mistakenly think the authority takes their word for it. They do not. The authority verifies your degree, your license, and your experience certificates directly from the issuing source, not from your copies, not from your scans. At Felix Happich Consultancy, we treat PSV as a standalone project, separate from the application. Don't trigger your portal application until you have verified that your university and your previous employers are responsive. If the verification agency reaches out and your university registrar doesn't reply, your application doesn't just stall, it dies in the queue. You are the project manager of your own history. Call your previous HR departments. Ensure they have the correct contact information to respond to the verification agency. If you don't manage this, you lose months to silence. Finally, we address the exam. Healthcare professionals are generally required to pass the authority's examination to obtain a professional license. The PQR is strict here. You are granted 3 attempts to pass the exam across all UAE health authorities. In some specific cases, a 4th attempt may be granted, but it requires a formal declaration that you have not failed with other regulators. This is a high-stakes moment. Once you reach that 3rd attempt, the pressure is exponential. Some professionals may be exempted from the exam if they hold certain international registrations or licenses. But hear me clearly. This is a formal, evidence-based legal request, not an automatic status. You must build a case, provide your current active license, a letter of good standing, and clear proof of active practice. You have to make it impossible for them to say no. If you're banking on an exemption, make sure you have the evidence to back it up before you even log into the portal. The PQR is not just a document to be filed away. It is the blueprint for your entire professional life in the United Arab Emirates. Navigating it is not about luck, and it certainly isn't about trial and error. It requires meticulous document management, a deep understanding of federal standards, and a strategic approach to how you present your career history. At Felix Happich Consultancy, we don't just help with applications. We map your specific professional profile against the law to ensure your submission is airtight before it ever reaches a regulator's desk. We take this high-stakes legal process and turn it into a series of predictable, manageable, and successful steps. Don't let your move to the UAE be a gamble. Let it be a strategy. If this step-by-step masterclass has helped clarify your path, subscribe to the channel. In our next session, we are going to deep dive into the education requirements. What certificates actually count? We are going to tackle the big 3 blockers that stall thousands of applications: distance learning, correspondence degrees, and hybrid certificates. I will show you exactly how the authorities currently evaluate these programs, why they trigger immediate rejections, and how to verify if your specific qualification meets the federal standard before you start your application. I'm Abrick, and I'll see you in the next one.